Okay.
So it will like what it will do is it will again rearrange all the images with the georeferencing data and it
Mm.
will try to fix it together. So
Oh,
recalibration has nothing to do with GCP and all. GCP is almost the next step. Initially, you have to like align the images perfectly to get into production. That is why. So if you are not able to align it perfectly, sometimes you will have issue with data, or mostly it will be issue with the data only because softwares will never make big mistakes and all. Maybe here and there one or two it might not calibrate due to some internal issue. But mostly if once or two times you have checked, but then still it is not calibrated, then there will be issue with the data, or there might be some like a camera or angle issue or some GPS issue that will be due to some networking issue or something like that. But that place will not be left empty. Your previous image will somehow cover that managing boundary because you will have a KML for production. So this is the case why we are telling we need at least 20 to 30 meter buffer because whatever happens or your edge image is not calibrated also you'll have your proposed area inside your perfectly aligned data.
mm.
So if I'm not doing it without buffer, then problem is my edge data or my boundary will not be calibrated sometimes due to this issue. Mostly this
Mm.
issue will happen only on edge data or which is on the last line or something like that.
Ah,
That is why we'll be putting a buffer or something so that if this issue comes also, our area of interest will be inside or it will be perfectly inside or assist.
oh.
Yeah. Non-summary results find. So today I think it was fully theory only because we have seen everything.
What was the data which you have shared last week, which Mantha requested from LULC, that PDF
Mm,
file?
which PDF exactly you're asking? No, that
LULC
was
site,
this NR, I mean, NRDC,
NRC.
NRC, that data.
Uh,
Like there are some departments, so the pixel values which I've told you, right, for reclassifying,
mm,
sometimes, this some departments have their own fixed values. So Mamta ma'am
okay,
was asking if we have any documentation or latest updated report regarding those pixel values for reclassifying and studying purpose. So
okay,
some data we have to pay and get them. Some it will be like updated once in a year or something like that. So those two were
okay.
the open source data which I used to check every year before this reclassifying or something. So those I
Where
have.
it will be useful? In which
It will
sectors?
be like for environmental studies only. Environmental
Oh,
studies and classification. While we studied about reclassifying, right? Like to
mm,
get the quantity of outputs and all. So like that, if you're doing, this will be helpful because while reclassifying, we need pixel values for reclassifying.
mm,
And this will give you the range of values and other things. That too, it will change on case to case basis. That is the problem here.
mm,
Some they'll provide data based on their department input, and if you go for other departments, again they'll have different values based on their inputs. So that is entirely dependent on what type of output you need and which department is actually working on that output for it. Today it will be like fully theory only. So I think as far as syllabus is concerned, till module 5 we have completed. So we have to start from
no.
module 6 actually.
Your screen is not visible.
Yeah, I'm just loading now.
Okay.
So I think my screen is visible now, right?
Mm,
Okay, and now we'll be starting with module 6 itself directly, which is it is like advanced applications and automations and reporting. Out of which domain module 6 we are starting, which is domain applications. So I'll just give you all some detailed descriptions and some basics regarding these applications, what it is all used. So what they
Mm-hmm.
have provided is mostly using drone only, not with GIS or any other things. So
Mm-hmm.
initially they have told precision agriculture with the drones. So there are some
And
drones.
before
Yeah.
this, so GIS, I mean, like what are all the things GIS analyst will be doing? Like only processing the data, correct? After getting the
No,
data
no.
from.
Actually, the processing of data is entirely different domain. Actually, it
Okay.
is like one full domain called remote sensing. Okay? Remote sensing and productions, out of which what we are doing is in Pix4D production and all, it comes in ortho mosaic. So that is a different department called ortho department. Okay.
Okay.
And there is one department called the GIS mapping department and I mean like LiDAR mapping department. So these two
Mm.
will be mapping department. We will do all mapping using. So GIS mapping team will do GIS mapping department. I sent you sample right for working. So like that. So they will work fully on mapping their backend data, collecting field data, like that only. Whereas LiDAR team
Mm.
will work on same, but they'll work on LiDAR mapping. They'll collect data
Okay.
from LiDAR equipments and then they'll share with the same GIS mapping what we're doing. They'll do it with LiDAR data. Okay. And there
Okay.
is one more different thing called remote sensing analyst or GIS analyst. What they'll do is they'll not go into mapping database, nothing. They'll
Mm.
only use ARC toolbox for
Mm.
identifying slopes, different networking issues for right the road or map and all. So like that, they'll solve different problems and they'll do surveillance and monitoring from like forest data. They'll check about like seashore lines and all shoreline. There is one study called shoreline management where now
Mm.
every 2 years or 3 years they'll take satellite images. They'll know where the exact shoreline is at that time, and again they'll take once in 2 years so that now they have to check whether the shoreline has gone inside the sea or it has gone inside the residential area. So like
Mm.
that it will be there.
Okay. So GIS analyst itself will be there is a lot of domain. Like one
Yeah,
of the
yes, yes.
example is seashore. Okay.
Yeah, yes. Like that, based on the field they are working and based on what they are working, it will all get determined. So there are
Mm.
multiple postings here, but people only know a few, like people who are only work with mapping or something. But no, ESRA India, who's the production company of RGS and Hexagons and all, no, they have specialized analyst for just analyzing their software and using it on multiple scales.
Mm.
And the forest department is having, there is one department called Soil Management and Survey of India. There is Geotechnical Department of India. There is Indian Bureau of Mining. So all their job will be like selecting suitable sites. There is disaster management and all is there. So they will be like if you are working in disaster management, you will not go into mapping itself. You will get data. You will like there are set of formulas which we'll use to calculate the land surface temperature to predict the tsunami and all, to predict landslides with all rainfall and all other data. So there are
Okay.
multiple options here. So based on which department you are working and what is the source you are working, it will be done. And there are police department who's using GIS to identify more threat areas, more robbery areas, and
Mm.
hospitals or like there are site engineers or real estate agents who are using GIS to identify which area is going more of land values, what is the return value, what is the most likely to be sold by areas and all, what is the nearby infrastructure, what is the site suitability for if they are constructing a hospital, if they are constructing a mall, there are site suitability analysis based on parameters and all. So all
Mm.
these things comes in the analyst. So they don't work with mapping or anything else. They'll just
Okay.
collect data from various sources from Excel to whatever format they are getting. They'll put it together, work analysis part, and give them outputs. So it is on
Okay.
what we are into and what which department we are supporting into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm, so what we have done last week is in that village map that is
Mhm.
only digitizing. and mapping.
Yeah, yeah, yes, that is only basic. That too not digitalizing and mapping. That is only basic digitalizing with basic attributes. So
Okay.
still we have like lots and lots of attributes which we have to do based on the client requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Where it will be only like digitalizing roads, whereas now we have to check for road names, what is this type of road, how it is done, what is the last time of maintenance of it. So where
Mm-hmm.
what about the potholes and all? So there are multiple options based on which the data will be running. So what we have seen is actually a basic of how it is done. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want detail of how it is done, we have to like specifically learn only for that application. That will be again
Mm-hmm.
a full different module or full different syllabus. So based on each and every small data, we have to know how to collect it, from where to collect it, from whom to collect it, and what is the procedure it will take, and what is that
Mm-hmm.
procedure it will take for you to integrate it with RGS, how you have to perform analysis motions, how you have to do calculations, and also that will be entirely different.
Okay.
So yes,
So, what is this name called? Orthomosaic. Sorry, orthophotos, which we have
what we
learned
have
in the
done with
last
Pix4D is orthophoto
ortho.
or orthomosaic. Anything is fine. And what we have done was GIS software, which I've showed you, is like we did some digitalizing work, we did some mapping work, and we also saw about some volumetric analysis using the software itself. And we know about how to create a database and how to work with it and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we'll just start with the module 6, which is only fully like theories only. There will not be much of
Mm.
working part in it.
Okay.
So first one is module 6. It is like precision agriculture with drones, crop health and yield estimation. So this is entirely like a calculation part. Okay. So initially what
So,
it will do.
shall we say like it is a part of or work nature of GIS if someone into agriculture field doing this type of GIS
Yeah,
work,
this
right?
is type of GIS only. Like if you want to know, like every engineering degree now has a paper called GIS, especially civil and mechanical. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
every agricultural studies is having a paper called GIS.
Mm-hmm.
Every geography and geology person who is studying as UG and PG will have a paper for GIS.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like, now it is growing a lot, and I know some people who have done their masters in agriculture who's working in GIS. And if you want to know, there are a heavy demand for UG and PG agricultural graduates who are ready to work with the drone industry. Because
Mm-hmm.
as per government Save Kendra or other things, Modi has implemented this agricultural drone for farmer.
Mm-hmm.
These agriculture students are getting very good postings with some better companies where they'll just go to the field, they'll do the soil management, crop management, all other things, they'll do drone inspection, and
Mm-hmm.
after which they'll suggest the type of fertilizer or manual which should be used. They will
Mm-hmm.
purchase it and they'll spray it or sprinkle it or what is the procedure. They'll use it
Mm-hmm.
on the field and get a payment. So there are companies who are recruiting people from agricultural background and drones.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll know what type of soil they're handling and what is the chemical to be used. Just like a doctor going to field inspection, they'll go to the field, they'll fly drone, they'll take ortho image, they'll check out all images for insects, bugs, and all. And after which they'll suggest the type of chemical which should be used for fertilization. And
Mm-hmm.
again, they'll use the drone to sprinkle it, spray it, and all.
Mm-hmm.
So now there are openings
Okay.
for that also. That is a very bigger field now, like commercial farming or something. It is now very big. And there are
But
some people who are doing it on commercial scale just for fertilizer. They'll not be from agriculture background. They'll be
mm,
drone pilots who only know how to operate a drone. They'll go to the field. Like for
mm,
example, for 1 acre, it takes 5 people
mm,
to fertilize it with a manual one.
mm,
Okay, so each one will be paid a salary of somewhere around 250 to 300 per day. So
mm,
one day they'll charge around like 8 to 10 acres they can fly.
mm,
And 10 people will be working, so approximately per acre it will be around somewhere around 300. Okay, but one full
mm,
day it will take. Whereas if you are
mm,
doing with the drone, around 6 to 7 minutes, you can do it for 1 acres.
mm.
That too, if you are going for manual, there will be improper fertilizing issue and all will be there. Some places might be over fertilized or something like that.
Okay.
Whereas with drone, that will be true. So what they'll do is they are charging somewhere around 500 for a drone per
Mm,
acre. Within 8 minutes, they'll do a even sprinkling system of fertilizers and they'll give you.
okay.
So that is a bigger market now. There are some
But
many.
they need a agriculture background, right? For the first thing to analyze
Yeah, the
where
first
to.
is like there are companies who work in agriculture domain. There will be crop management companies.
Mm,
There are some soil management companies. There are some like this biotechnology companies working towards agricultural field and all. So there you need
mm,
agricultural background. Whereas if you want just to be a sprinkler or sprayer system, you just wanted a drone license. That's all.
mm,
So it is based on your eligibility what they'll be providing you. There are some companies
mm.
who only use drone pilots for fertilization. There are some
Oh,
companies who take agri students for knowing what is in the field and all.
They're using the drone as a tool, so it is
Yeah, yes.
like getting a mandate thing. Okay,
There is one particular survey called the geophysical survey. Okay.
okay.
And in which what they'll do is they'll have a team of geologists and all agricultural students. They'll have a
Mm,
civil engineer, they'll have a geologist, they'll have an agricultural expert. What they'll do is they'll do a soil management. They'll do like a geotechnical field test. They'll do the soil testing and they'll fly drone. They'll take
mm,
whatever data is possible from the drone. So they'll
mm,
calculate for slope and everything. So they'll give you a proposal to what if you have a land. They'll give you
mm,
what to do, whether you can do construction towards it or you can use it for agriculture or other geophysical activities like you put boreholes and lend out waters or based on everything.
mm,
So this
mm.
geophysical survey is now India only it is like now only it is almost starting from scratch. Only like very few companies in India do it, but that too in a very large scale.
Mm.
So there you have openings for agricultural background people also. Just because they
Okay.
can check out the soil slope. They'll check out the
Mm,
quality of soil, they'll calculate the chemical composition of the soil, so they'll suggest a cropping pattern or something which can be used on profitable scales.
okay. Mm,
That is another bigger market where drone and sensor is all used now.
okay. Mm,
And the problem is there is no one in India to do it in a very small scale. There are companies who are doing it, but at least they'll need 100 to 200 acres minimum because
oh,
the cost will be high.
okay. They'll
For
be
1 acre,
using like which type of tool
they are
they'll be using, like
using
LiDAR?
they are using the regular drones only, but with various other sensors. There are like some crop management sensors. There are some
Oh,
water flowing sensors. There are some terrain sensors. So drone will be the same. The sensor which is mounted is only dependent on the
mm,
usage and
mm.
what they want. That's all.
How the sensors will be, the weights are will be higher if we go to
No,
LiDAR
no,
compared to
nothing
artificial.
like that.
No.
So actually, a lidar equipment Zenus will be around like 500 grams. So
Oh,
there are
okay.
some commercial grade drones which can have a payload up to 10 to 15 kgs, excluding the
Mm,
drone weight.
okay.
So there are multiple options. It is based on the application what the drone is decided. That's all. So if you are having more payload, they'll instead of going for a rotocopter, they'll go for a hexacopter or an octocopter. So the more
Mm,
wings you have, the more propellers you have, the more thrust it will build and the more lift it can generate so that it will take off.
mm,
So that is
okay.
based on every application only. And drones are all customizable. There is nothing like fixed or standard model. It is
Mm,
done based on what you want. That's all.
okay. Okay. So fixed, I mean, the Indian made drone you're saying, or it's
So both only
like,
I'm telling. I'm telling
oh,
anything it is imported or anything made in India also.
mm,
Imported drones can also be customized, like DJI can be customized. There are some
oh,
empty drones, okay? There is like T350 or T250 and all that will come without a payload.
oh,
So based on your
okay.
requirement, they have like hundreds and hundreds of payload available just for that drone.
Mm, Okay.
Instead of what use you want, you will purchase payload, and that will can opt for multiple payloads at a single time.
Mm,
That drone can occupy 2 to 3 payloads. Like that drone is used in some countries for disaster management, where they'll have a speaker mounted to it, at
mm,
camera as well as a GPS signal. So
oh,
when these three is working together, they can work with like dispatching, checking for status and all, real-time monitoring, whatever. And there are some drones which are specifically used for seashore areas or to be used in rain during these disaster times and all. They can
mm,
withstand a particular amount of storm and rain so that they'll have some real-time monitoring data. So that is
mhm.
entirely based on what we want, sir. Everything is customizable only,
Oh,
even
okay.
DJI including.
So if a person comes to drone industry starting with the RPC, and
Mhm.
it's definitely with only having a certificate, and if they wanted to be a pilot, it's not very much recommendable, right? So because they need some additional skill on something
Oh,
related
that is
to.
what I'm telling. That is
Mm-hmm,
not required. That is on what you are planning to do with it. Some people, I
mm-hmm,
know some people who, from my native, who have an RPC, who will not do any other work other than fertilizing flying. Okay, they'll get
okay.
tie up with some farming agency and all.
Mm,
Yearly, like 7 or 8 months, they'll have full contract flying for multiple acres. Whereas chemical the company will provide. They just have to
mm,
go mix it in the field. They'll have 1 day training regarding how to mix it and how to load it and all. So
mm,
they'll mix it as per the training. They'll fly for per day like 30 to 50 acres. They'll fly and they'll
mm,
be
mm,
paid accordingly.
mm, mm.
So that's all.
Okay.
Even if it's only with RPC, you can go for commercial scale surveillance and monitoring. You can go
Mm,
into surveillance, so like for police departments, if there is a function, you can go into monitoring purposes. You
mm, mm,
can go into cinematography. You can go into tracking.
mm, mm,
So only with a drone license, only like on which company you're working, you'll know what to learn or how to learn it. Unless and until you can't like get a, okay, I'm having a drone license, I'll learn this particular field so that I want to go. There is
mm.
also there, but some companies will better take only drone pilots, train up them based on what they want actually, and
Okay.
then proceed with that also.
Oh, okay. Mm,
I know people who only have RPC who will work multiple projects. They don't know any technical side of any project. Whereas
mm,
they'll take 1 day training regarding it, do that job
mm.
for 3 to 4 months. Once the job is over, that's all. They'll forget it.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So by that way, they'll have like multiple more experiences than regular people who's working in field because they'll be working in very different projects. But if you ask them, they don't know any technicals or about it. They'll do just know the procedure or how to do it. They'll
Mm,
don't know
mm.
why to do it or why they are asking them to do it.
Okay. So
It is like
only
that only.
till collecting the data, they have a skill, like
Yeah,
a flying skill. They only have flying
yeah.
skills
They only have
for the
an
different
RPC and they
project.
will have experience only with flying. That's all.
Okay. Oh,
Even
This
there
is
are some
this will
computers.
not help for a long term, right?
No, it
Because
is
if
not like that, sir.
Mhm,
See, some companies recruit based on experience. If you have more flying experience, you can be a field project manager. Okay. So you can
okay.
be a program scheduler, you can be a drone scheduler, you can be a maintenance engineer, you can be a drone instructor with proper
Mm,
experience. These
mhm,
all comes with experiences only. Being an instructor, being a tutor, being a
mm.
project manager on field, being the head of survey department or being the head of survey team and all. For that, you don't need any technical side. You just need to know
Survey
how a
team
drone works.
heading the survey team means just a drone part alone, not
Yeah,
a
yes.
surveying. Okay.
No, no, not they'll head to with the DGPS and RTK, but you don't know how to operate it, but you will know how to
Mhm,
plan it. So this is entirely based
mm.
on planning only.
Oh,
So how you
okay.
plan the work and all. So based on that, it is not that you need a proper qualification to get into this field. It is like
Mm,
you get into this field, know your expertise and select according to that. So no
okay.
one can predefinitely fixed I'll only go into this field.
Mm,
So it is like options when you go in, you will be good at one thing, you will be bad at one thing. It is better like you understand, identify your good things and go for
mm.
into that field only.
Okay.
I know people
mm,
who have done computer science and going into like sensor manufacturing, who go into IoT manufacturing of drones. And there are
oh,
some people who done computer science and who's working now in agricultural field, who's working in
mm,
GIS analysis also. Most companies take IT people into analysis postings because they can
oh,
develop ArcPy and they can do coding, they can easily learn it.
mm, mm,
Just like the formula which I used, that is an ArcPy formula. As
mm,
an analyst, we'll be having some set of formulas. Whereas if you are into computer science background, you can create an entire module or a plugin or whatever you want for executing a portion. That's all. It is like
oh,
your area of expertise along with this where you can go.
mm.
Mm.
So that
Mm.
is more into software related field.
Yeah,
Great. Okay.
Capgemini is recruiting like Accenture is there, Infosys is there, they're all recruiting for GIs who are from IT domain only. Because they
Which
work
field
for,
they are recruiting?
they are only recruiting computer science people with RGIS background or RGS people with computer science. It is
Okay.
like one way or the two. If you're having computer science degree and you know what is RGS and do art by coding and all, they'll recruit it because they work for Google Maps, they work for Apple Maps and all.
Mm-hmm.
Where only computer
Okay.
science people are doing coding related to Apple Maps and other things. It is not a GIS person. Or it might be a
Oh,
GIS person who's done software related courses in our like Google Maps and other things.
mm.
That's all.
We have on Indian map thing, right? Recently, they were Maple or something. Have you heard about that?
Map it India, I guess.
Maple. Okay. So
Maple
they
or
will
Map
be
it India
need.
something.
Uh-huh. So they will be needing all this type of drone, or else they will be relying on the satellite images more.
No, no, they'll be doing it with drones only because mostly they'll rely on drone because satellite data might be outdated. Problem is
Mm-hmm.
that only. So when you're doing
Mm-hmm.
mapping, there will be a government project. If you're doing, there will be a government clause or something that the data should not be not more than 3 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some possibilities like there are in some places where you might have older data. So like it will be 50% from satellite, 50% from drones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So now we'll start with the basics of precision agriculture with drones. See
Mm.
what we have done, right? We have did a vegetative index NDVI calculation, right? On the other day using Raster calculator. And 5 and 4 we have used for NDVI. So there are multiple formulas like that for water index and other things which can be done. Okay, so that is used for the most precise agricultural format. And those formulas which NDVI is used, they are used for crop monitoring and management. A healthy crop will have a different leaf color and an affected crop will have a different leaf color. So with that on the pixel value, they will be able to reclassify which one all crops it is affected and which one all crop and all it is healthy. And based on it, they can work on getting more yielding and other things. Okay, and they'll calculate for slope and terrain in agricultural uses for identifying the water flow if there is a rain and for proper irrigation facilities and all, they have to know water flows towards which side and to where and all other things. So there your slope analysis, surface analysis, everything comes in place. And there are some sensors which is embedded in drones for water flow monitoring also. So there is one company in Coimbatore who is only doing sensors for water flow monitoring. They are operated through drone. They'll fix every like sensors in the mouth of a pipe which is monitored through drone and every reading is acquired through drone and all. So like that. And for agricultural use, you will have like only three cameras which is used. You don't mostly rely on LiDAR. You rely on multispectral cameras, thermal cameras, and regular photo cameras and all. And mostly these agricultural large scale is only used only in case of tea plantations and hilly terrains like Ooty, Kodaikanal, and other places where it will be very difficult for manual survey. And the terrain will be very uneven and will not be accessible also. And there are some basic outputs which you can calculate. For example, no, in olden days, people used to calculate that. If we are putting like a rice in these many acres, this will be the number of bags we might get. Whereas, in the growing circumstances with all the hybrid seeds and all, and with all these insects, fertilizer what we are using, we cannot accurately calculate. Whereas, as far as drones are considered, we can actually calculate. Like what they'll do is they'll do random checkings of the entire area using drone. They'll even able to zoom in and check how many like these rice crops are there and what is the total number of rice things on the top of it. So based on it, they'll be able to calculate what is the yield, and they'll be able to calculate how this yield can be increased and all other things also. So it is like not going into the field with a drone alone. You can do it, and there are some companies in OT who is doing surveillance and monitoring using drones for their boundaries. Because as we know, those areas are highly like dangerous areas, and you'll have so much elephants attacks and this and that. Now they are doing surveillance and monitoring with drones. I worked for one company who's having like somewhere around 500 acres of coffee estate, where every once in 3 months we'll fly the drone and through the entire boundary for checking where it is damaged or how it is damaged. So all those things.
Damaged
And
means like the farm, the coffee farm.
yeah, no, the compound wall or fencing will be there, right? The animals might get into and get out of coffee plantations, and elephants can come. So what they'll
Mm,
do is to man the boundaries once in every 3 months. So if they are putting one person to reach, like some will be very slope terrains or cliff-free regions where you will not be man accessible areas. So we'll
mm,
fly the drone only for boundary inspections alone. And sometimes,
okay.
they'll ask us to monitor some areas also. Like three
Mm,
days, 5 days, we'll stay there. We'll have lights, and if there is any animal breach or something, we'll do monitoring purpose, take them footages and give them back. So all those
mm.
things might happen, and your ortho image will be like for them and all. We'll fly ortho at a very low height so that no they can even see the damages to the leaves and all. For coffee plantations and all, if they'll be able to see the quality of top layer of coffee or tea leaves, because they'll not take it from the bottom. They'll only take from the top, and also they'll be able to see the quality of leaf, whether it is insecticide or whether it is attacked or whatever it is. So that is also possible in coffee and tea estates. And like once you are doing like a drone monitoring once in every 2 months or once in a 15 days or 20 days, you can check the height of the crop, including how much it is growing. So what is the expected growth height and whether it is satisfying that or whether it is not satisfying it. So based on it, they can use various agricultural like manures or something so that to increase the crop yield and all. So that is all there. Like you can easily detect it at a very easier time itself, very less time itself. Rather, if you want, if you have like 500 to 600 acres, you will put 15 to 20 people to check for crops over the period of time. It may take 5 days to 10 days, whereas we can do it in a single day, give them an output, they can check everything in a single day itself.
Okay. So this through which application they will be analyzing this the same
So,
ARC or
mm,
GIS?
they'll use RGS, they can use like whatever software they are using, and mostly
Mm,
they'll rely on global mapper because all these things can only be identified through visual confirmation.
okay.
Even though so like we can reclassify the soil data, we can reclassify the leaf colors and identify where and all it is a very dull colored or the whether where and all the leaf is having issue. But it has to finally get identified through visual confirmations only. So at last they'll only check out the ortho image, check those locations and find out.
Mm.
Yeah. So as of that, you can those are the things that we'll be doing in agricultural domain with drones and all. So now we'll see about the next one, which is infrastructure inspection, roads, power lines, and solar farms. See, as far as infrastructure is concerned, you need a project management team who's working on it for an entire day or entire month to get that output and all. So all those things it is there.
So you have a experience of in most of these things, right? The first one you have already said you have
Yeah,
done the project, and
but
second
mostly
thing you have.
if you are mostly going in as a drone pilot, or if you are working as a drone pilot and all, you will have experience in most of these fields, at least to a basic extent.
Mm-hmm.
Because a drone pilot will not get only drone works throughout the year. Based on the month and based on the time, you will have multiple projects coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Okay.
speaking, if you're a drone pilot, you will get a like fertilization job in one will be on January, one will be on September, one will be somewhere in mid-April or May if there is
Mm-hmm.
rain. So only
Okay.
these 3 months you will be getting fertilization work. Whereas the survey work and all you will not have after post August. So after that it will be like only this infrastructure management, inspections and all other things. And
Mm-hmm.
by mid of like February, March and all, you will have this survey works for revenues, national highways for project updation every year because you have to close the financial account on this is update done, this is the fund released and all other things. So in
Mm-hmm.
the meantime, you will have mapping work in mid May, April, May, June, July and all because that will be summer season. So more drone flying job will be there. You'll have more back end work also.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a company will plan it according to that only. It is not that they'll have all type of work. Like for example, agriculture work you can't do 12 months of the year. So like that only it will be there. They'll
Mm-hmm.
do all what.
Mm-hmm.
As a drone pilot, we'll know what and all work will be happening on what and all months. So based on that, we'll be aligning our projects
Mm.
so that your team will not be free at least a single month.
Okay. So the company which you work is working was like that because they have multiple projects in the different sectors.
Yeah, and it is the
They're
only
not.
option for GIS companies to financially survive because India is not like any GIS companies where you will have tons and tons of GIS work only for India and all.
Mm-hmm.
So like it will be like you will have to work on multiple projects throughout the year so that at least you'll have the operating cost to be running without a loss. It will be
So
exactly based on
the it should be diversified into many sectors to sustain you.
yeah, yes. Yes, no
Okay.
other option. Because if
Okay.
we are not in a very good country where people are getting paid based on hours and we'll get paid if we are
Mm.
doing only one job, that is not possible here. Every GS
Mm.
company here in India is having an ortho department, is having a LiDAR department, irrespective of what they do.
Mm.
And every company is having a mapping department who will be working 24 by 7 only on mapping rather than field.
Mm.
That's because you need this financial even to get the company going and supporting it.
Mm.
Because if you're going for an agricultural consultant or infrastructure management and all, your agricultural work will not be there 12 months of the year. So you'll not be get paid.
Mm.
You can get paid
Mm.
for maximum 3 to 4 months. That's an infrastructure management company. They'll not do building work on rainy season and all.
Mm.
And it will be like mostly summer season only they'll be working a lot. So you'll get job
Mm.
only during summer season. And as far as the
Okay.
national highway is concerned, when they're only implementing a new road, you'll have job. And
Mm.
once that project or DPR is sanctioned and during construction is all over, you will not have job. That may take even 5 years or 10 years, but after that, you will not be able to rely on that project for financial aid. When you go
Mm.
for other projects like this forestry, soil management, and all other things, and all disaster management, and all, you can't even predict when there will be disaster so that we can get paid.
Mm.
So all these things are like intertwined, whereas you need at least one people towards like every company will have one people at least towards in each and every sector, so that if there is a
Mm.
project, they can at least pass on with the technical side of it.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been like morely like 4.5, 5, 6 years in this field. I'm working in multiple projects. Like I worked
Mm.
with agricultural department, I worked with NABARD, I worked with MABIF and all. I worked with universities, I worked with colleges, I worked with Survey of India and all. It will be
Mm.
like that only. You'll not have one
So,
particular project where you'll tell, okay, this is the only project I'm going to work for 15 years. There is nothing like
mm.
that. And you can't rely on
Okay.
any one project also like that. So my company has a technical, geotechnical person, they have a geologist, they have one
Mm.
person from agricultural background, they have one person from drawing background, they have one person from mechanical background, they have one person from E&I for electrical works and all. For utility
Mm.
mapping, they have one person from hydrological or hydrotechnical fluid mechanic person. So it will be like that only.
Okay.
Whereas we all will be working in GSV, but in different domains. At least, then when we are getting multiple projects,
Oh,
so we'll be
okay.
able to do. So once I've been in this field for more than 6 years, at least I know basics of all these fields and how they work. And if I'm giving a project, if I'm getting a project, I'll be able to work it out. Like I know what is the operating cost of it, what is the manpower required, what is the technical of it, how to attain that quality, what is the procedure you have to do on technical side, the management side. So once you are more like into project management and managing or TL posting, you will be getting more very exposure towards different applications where you
Mm.
should be ready to learn it and implement it.
Mm-hmm.
So since I have handled multiple projects, I've worked in multiple projects across these 6.5 years. I have all these exposures which is required to minimum take a project, complete it and give it, irrespective of the domain.
Mm.
So it is like we have to keep learning every day because there are multiple companies who are releasing. There are some companies who are releasing softwares every once in a 5 days, 10 days, 15 days and all, based on
Mm.
applications and all. So you have to keep tabs and everything. Get to know. You have to get more networking. You have to know more people across India or across the world to get starting. I know some people from the US who are working only US shift. They do for appraisal and land valuation for UK and US banks.
Mm.
Whereas here Indian valuation or valuers would go to field, take all that nothing. They'll like there is a team in UK they'll go to field, they'll fly drone, they'll give them the data, that's all. They'll put it in e-tabs. There is one software for electricity calculation, there is one software for window consumption calculation, water utilities and everything. There is softwares for it. You simulate it, you model it, you provide them with the proper appraisal. You can do valuation for US and UK based loans from India itself.
What is the background they need for
They
this?
need for civil engineering or electrical engineering. So they need a minimum of engineering degree. That's all. Just like IT, they need an engineering background people who can
Mm.
understand the dynamics. That's all.
Mm.
Because those are software related. Anyone can be trained in any software over a period of time. That's all.
Mm.
Irrespective of their backgrounds. They just need someone who are able to understand it, who is able to work it towards it. And that's
Mm.
all.
Okay. So when you are doing the National Highway Surveillance Project, okay, so
Mm.
you were saying that it was a seasonal project, correct? So for a
Yes.
month you will be doing staying there, and so on the morning you will be doing for 3 hours fly and evening 3 hours fly. So what would be the
Yes.
rest of the time? It's your do you work on in back end things or else it's a
If
time
that is
of
an ortho work, so if that is including mapping work, we'll work on backend team. Or else, what we'll do is we'll have one server system so we can work from field to office. Because as a drone project manager, you'll not be having much job to do on field.
Mhm.
So I feel like you have to coordinate other works. You have to make sure whether your team is working, their backend work is in progress. You have to check it out. You have to do mapping if you're free at a time. Or sometimes you will have projects like TPR preparations and what footage you have taken in morning. Meaningfully, you have to check it because if you didn't check it, no, sometimes there will be problem causes like you have to refly it. So you will be at a one particular zone only on one particular time. Once you have completed that zone and moved out again, it will be like very costly to come back to that portion just for one particular flying or anything. So
Mm.
mostly we'll
Yeah.
do is we'll check out the data and we'll communicate with office, check what it is the status there, how we can work with other things.
Okay, but the system which you are going to carry will be handy, right? It might be a laptop, so you don't
No,
have
it
a
is not like that.
workstation.
No, it is
Mm.
not like that. I have
Oh,
stayed at a hotel for a period of 3 months with two set of workstations with me. Wherever we go
oh.
the field team, we'll have like one or two workstations in the car at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to the field, we'll take data on the daytime, we'll process at least basic calibration, we'll check if this is all okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have minimum two CPUs or three CPUs, we'll have two to three monitors, we'll have two to three UPS running simultaneously. So we'll plug it into hotel systems and we used to work. That is all possible. We'll mostly carry multiple systems with us. If five people are going to field, they'll at least have two computers with them. So to dismantle,
Okay.
of course, not assemble, but we'll be dismantling it, packing it, taking it with wherever we are going. Because you can't rely
Oh,
on laptops and all. There is no laptop which is well sophisticated to handle that much data.
so in the workstation also you'll be carrying along with you
Yeah,
wherever
definitely,
you go.
definitely.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Unless
okay.
and until you'll be back in maximum 2 days.
Uh-huh.
Maximum, if you'll be back within the next day, you will not be having a computer with you. Or those
Oh,
projects will be very small because it will be like maximum 2 to 3 hours of journey. You can just, if there is error also, you'll just go. One person can go, just retake that person, come back. That's all.
mm,
Whereas if you're going for 5 days, 4 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and all, you will have
mm,
2 to 3 computers for sure ready. And
mm,
paperwork from companies also stating that these computers and all other things belongs to this company, and we are employees, and we are doing this job, that job, and all those work orders and all of. So wherever you go as a drone pilot, your paperwork will be very important, and you have to know what all paperwork is required, how it is required, and how you can handle it, how you should have it.
mm,
Because each and every state police department works differently. Each and every police, like each and every state local government offices work very differently.
mm,
Departments might be the same, but the workflow and everything will be different.
mm. So it's like more
Yeah,
like you will be in the traveling if
yeah,
you are
I
a
have not
coordinator or
even
something.
gone home for 6 months of time. I've worked in field for 6 months also, where I have been at home for 6 months without projects also. That is also there. So it is
Mm-hmm.
part and parcel of this job. Whereas if
Okay.
we didn't get if you don't have projects, we'll work in back-end mapping team. We'll help with the mapping team. We'll go with work with mapping teams. If we have project, we'll work with the project. If we don't have anything in mapping, also we'll go with LiDAR or something. We have to one way or the other source job. We have to one way or the other take projects, irrespective of its need or requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some projects where companies will reject the project actually. So for
Okay.
example, if we are having one tie-up with one company or taking one project, you will be
Mm-hmm.
rejecting the project based on the financials. There are some cases like that also, where
Mm-hmm.
you know what will be the cost, and that company will be like they might have underquoted or they might have overquoted. There are possibilities because
Mm-hmm.
you can't rely everything on outsourcing. Sometimes there
Mm-hmm.
are possibilities like you might misunderstood the code, like the technical side, you might underquote, and then you might end up losing some lakhs or something. That is also there.
Mm-hmm.
So one way
Oh.
or the other, at the end of the day, you have to complete it, deliver it, irrespective of the cost you are making, irrespective of the margin. And this field works
Mm-hmm.
entirely on credit period. So it is like you take a loan for 6 months or 3 months, you get the payment, you complete the loan. So we have to calculate everything because if that is 1 crore project, we need like a minimum 20 to 25 lakhs of investment in it. No company will have 25 lakhs lying around.
Okay.
It is like they have to financially plan, make sure they are getting some payment from various
Mm.
other projects to invest in this project, and they'll know it will take like 3 months of credit period. Then if they're getting a loan, they have to calculate the interest for 3 months. So it is all
Mm-hmm.
there. So you have
Okay.
to like know each and every part where you will be able to work around. And there
Mm-hmm.
are some places where we will not be even like getting proper funds. Such a government project, sometimes you'll not be even getting proper funds to do it at times. But whereas
Oh.
we'll from our own operating cost, we'll pay it out of our hand and follow
Mm-hmm.
them for 2 years, 3 years for the payment. There are possibilities like that also. If you can know government projects, they need like 6 months of supporting time from us. So the payment will
Oh.
take another 3 to 6 months, or hardly it will take. If you are doing the job, it will take 1 year to get the payment. So
Oh.
how small the project may be or how big the project may be. If that's a
Mm-hmm.
very big project, just in case you imagine we are taking like 5 to 10 crores loan regarding a project work order. There are
Mm-hmm.
banks who will give payment like a loan based on the work order you have
Oh. Okay.
for a commercial account and a corporate account. So you
Mm-hmm.
take a loan for 1 year, some 5 crores, you will get the payment like sometimes you will get it full, sometimes you will get it part by part. So in that case, you have
Mm-hmm.
to manage the financials also. So it is like you have to plan each and every step before going into a project. It will take hardly like if you're going for a government project, it will take hardly 3 months for planning alone, irrespective
Oh.
of the project size. See, if you're taking a railway project, we need like minimum 25 to 30 days minimum to get
Mm-hmm.
data from the department. And again, it will take hardly for us another 2 months to plan it accordingly, to mobilize the team, to get it started alone. Once it is started,
Mm.
because you can't stop anything in between. So
Okay.
once you add a start button, you can't stop it between. You have to finish it off and get out of it.
Okay.
So it is like you have to know what is the financial, what is the labor cost. So we'll have one person on the field who's getting inquiry from multiple companies who calculating the local calculations of, and they'll calculate what is the time duration, how much we have to pay the local people, or if our team is there, how much we have to pay them. So all these things
Mm-hmm.
it is all there. So getting
Is
a
there
project.
a human resource shortage in this field, or how in the
Human resource
financial
shortage
thing?
is like we have a lot of financial disclaimers in this field, sir, obviously, because this field only runs on credit period. No one is ready to give hand in hand project with financial. Once you do delivery,
Mm.
immediately they'll not payment. That is not in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you go for manufacturing department, other departments and all, no, once it is
Mm-hmm.
delivered, you will get the payment maximum 1 month.
Mm.
Whereas in this field, if you are working for government, you need 6 months supporting time. That government department will ask. So 6 months you
Okay.
have to post one people with them full time. They'll teach them everything and hand over the data. And after
Mm-hmm.
that, another, even if they are calling after 1.5 years for doubts, you have to clarify them. That will be in your contract. If you are doing for
Oh,
private sector, some companies will take 3 months just for verifying your data. So you
okay.
have to patiently wait for 3 months just to get approval for the payment. And after which
Mm-hmm.
you will be raising your invoice, and after which they'll release it in a notice period, credit period.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all there. I think the HR as a human resource is not having any effect towards it. The most affecting in this domain will be the finance department.
Oh, okay.
Any company who's running towards it, if you go for a very big MNC and all, this will not be their only concern. They'll have
Mm-hmm.
various concern where they'll make good money, they'll invest it because this field needs a lot of investment.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I'm
Okay.
having a GS company, I'll also have one more company which is providing me funding for this GS company so that I will not be getting loans or I will
Mm.
not be getting into more financial debt. So I need
Okay.
one company which is giving me a standard pricing or standard price, which I get a standard of money volume which I'll be getting every day or every month, based on which
Mm-hmm.
I can calculate the running this company. That's all. Financial is
Okay.
where
You're
it all fits.
owning a company, or you're working for?
Now I am working for multiple companies also.
Okay.
I'm owning a company also.
Okay.
So it will be like you'll not be working in a single field, right? So I work for 3 companies as of now. Out of
Mm.
which one company I'm working full time, 2 companies I work. One I'm working as a consultant, one I'm working on a part time basis just for their quality and technical team. One company which I'm owning, that will also I'll take projects. I have team to do that also.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like
Okay.
that only. You can't survive with only one place or one thing. Yeah. Because
Mm-hmm.
the field is big, you have to have one way. Or if I'm sitting with one company, I can't learn what the other company is doing. So there, my knowledge will be very less if I want to go into that field. So you have to
Yeah.
get like learning from multiple sources so that now you will be up to the field on all those things.
Mm-hmm. So everyone will be having the same type of medals who is willing to come in this
So
field,
not
in this
everyone,
industry.
anyone who want to like will be like anyone. There are some people who will be satisfied with the monthly salary, and there will be
Okay.
some people who want to learn more things irrespective of the salary. So it is based on
Mm-hmm.
what you want from the field and how you want to take it forward. That's all. I know people who are getting settled just for monthly salary in the same field.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They'll not even take an opportunity if that is given to them because they'll be very comfortable on what they have.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who continuously keeps running for 18 hours or 20 hours a day just so they
Mm-hmm.
can learn more things. There are some people who are earning very less in this field, but they'll have a very lot of experience.
But
So it is
if
like,
there is is there an opportunity who wants to learn multiple things, uh, like, or how to say, doing the internship, or there is an opportunity, like you
So
were
there
saying,
are
right?
opportunities. Yes, there are opportunities. There are many open doors here where you can learn anything. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem is you have to have time for it. That is the issue. See, if I'm managing two projects, I'm working from 9 to 6 in one company. I'll go home, I'll have like 2 to 3 hours of meeting with the consultation team. I'll do it. Then again, after 5 to 6 hours, I have to check with the other company for verifying their quality data. Okay, sometimes, so this will be a standard fixed one. There might be
Mm-hmm.
sometimes where my consultation meeting might extend up to 1 hour. I'll not have enough time to complete the technical portion, or I have to take absence from one company to complete the project of the other company. It is all like that only. There are some companies who are offering very less pay for night jobs on the same field. Okay, they'll be working on
Mm-hmm.
US and UK shift. Anyone who is having a day job can opt for it. So you will go from
Mm-hmm.
9 to 6 in one company. Again, you will go home, take rest, go to
Mm-hmm.
that company for around night 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, work till morning 7 or 8, come back, take 1 or 2 hours of rest, again go to your day job.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who are working like this also. They'll have hardly 5 to 4 hours of sleep a day.
It's very difficult for you, because you were in the field itself for some projects. So that time, how you
No,
will be
it is
managing?
mandatory only. Like, see, if you are being a senior person, it is one way or
Mm-hmm.
the other you should be present in the field because
Mm-hmm.
company give project to team based on what your technical skill and what will be your your head team will be. They'll not provide project based on who's working on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is a very prestigious client, one way or the other, you have to be present in the field. At least show your face so that no, they'll be confident that this project will get through.
Mm-hmm.
So on those cases, if this is what it is, then we have to be there around 5 to 6 days in field. Then I have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure I have two workstations with me. I have 2 to 3 team working with me simultaneously on multiple work. So that I should plan. So this field is
Okay.
entirely about managing and planning what you can do and how you are able to do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, for example, that some companies will have a
You're not audible. Hello? Hello? Hello?
only junior is coming to field. So some clients might think like that also. So there are
Sorry,
cases.
we lost you. You're not there for a few minutes. Hello?
Yeah, now I'm audible.
Ah, yes, yes. Now
Yeah,
you're audible.
there will be some clients who will definitely need you on field. There are some clients who are okay with when you're sending your team.
Yeah,
So
so like when you are in the field for three months, you will be working on different projects for different companies. That time you will be needing they will be expecting you to for their work, right? So that time you will be only physical. Your physical presence will not be able to give there in both
yeah,
the
that's why
company,
we
correct?
have to plan it only. It is like you have to plan each and every step. See,
Okay.
mostly the company which I'm doing consultation whom I'm checking for freelancing projects and all, no, they will know
Mm,
me personally, but they'll not see me. At least I'll see them once in 6 months or 7 months only. If there is
mm,
any bigger project for their side where they need me personally to be there to take it out or do something. Unless and
mm,
until it will be like I'll be working from remote locations. Some projects
mm.
or some companies will like ask your time. You have to be there physically, irrespective of what might be the situation from your side.
Okay. Okay.
So that is like you have to start learning to manage it, and you have to know how to manage people,
Mm,
what they actually require, what or how you can. get them satisfied, or how you can get their approval, the T's. So it is like you have
mm,
to start learning each and every portion of it, how it is done, what it is done. So if you're having like 6.5 years in all these field and all, I'll tell you, it will be easy for you to manage even 5 companies at a time, because you will know how to manage it, you'll know how to plan it, and you
mm,
just have to make sure it is going as per your plan. It is not only about planning, you have to make sure everything is going as per your plan.
mm, mm. Again, we missed you.
My
Hello.
work is not over, but okay, I'll go. So that is not the case here.
Mm,
So if it is going for another 5 days, plan for worst case. You have to be there for another 5 days, and you will have another things lined up for you for the next 5 days. You have to somehow manage it, push it out, or push it in, or make sure you are there or something. So it is mostly about planning only and management what you are doing. And I know, like,
okay.
I was very bad at management initially, because you can't tolerate two to three things at the same time, whereas you have to.
Mm.
So
So
one
the
thing you
experience
do,
only you weren't getting into the multiple projects at the
yeah,
mean
everything
time.
here is
Okay.
only due to the experience only. Nothing is due to the technical background, or no company will take into this field just because you are having a PhD or just because you are having a master's.
Mm,
Any company where you are going, they'll tell, okay, whatever you may study, that is not their problem. They want to know what you can do with your RGS, what you can do with their skill,
mm,
and they'll also time you out. Every company will give you a sample data during a technical round where you will be timed also. So what is the time that you are taking? And they'll give you a
mm.
slab of time only. Like my team will
Okay.
do it in 3 hours. I'll give you the
Mm,
same 3 hours, but I need it completed with the same quality that my team is providing. So
mm.
they only your education will not help you. Only your experience, the way you work will help you.
Okay.
Wherever I go for an interview, or wherever I go for a project, or if I'm
Mm,
getting a new system or something, I'll
mhm.
spend minimum 1 day towards it just to customize the toolbox for me.
Oh, okay.
So that no, when I take a job or work, I'll be able to do
Mm,
it.
mm, mm,
Without customization or without working based on your flow, you will not be able to achieve anything in this field.
mm,
You have to make sure everything is working for you,
mm, mm.
because you cannot be there all the time. See, ortho
Oh,
also, we have like, if I am having 10 systems running simultaneously, it is waste of
mm,
time for me to sitting there for, if it will take 1 month, it is waste for me to sit there for 1 month. Whereas
mm,
what we'll do is we'll have internet system, we'll have team screening, everything running for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. We'll be on field working on other projects. Whereas we have to
mm,
check the screen once in 1 hour through remote
mm.
access. So that is the whole.
Okay.
As the technology is going, it is like you have to utilize it to your maximum extent. And we'll be
Mm,
paying premium towards any desk, we'll be paying premium towards TeamViewer, whatever it is. And those
mm,
should not be like financial burdens. It is mandatory that you have them, so that no, if there are some projects where the system is the ortho production might take 3 months to 6 months. I have worked on it. For entire
mm.
6 months only production will be running. You can't even
Oh,
use that system for any other work. But you will have
mm,
multiple projects. In that case, you have to again invest on infrastructure, again get to more team, more people
mm,
manage it. And those systems you have to supply for electricity again. UPS, you have to give them everything.
mm.
So it is like
So
you
it's a
have to support.
standard place the company has. It,
No,
they will
there
have
will
a
be a
physical
standard
office.
place. That is all.
Mm,
There will be a previous standard place. It is not like there is a standard place. I'm telling there will be a standard place, and
mm,
that standard place will only be for people who are working on management side or financial side
mm,
or a client meeting. Other than that,
mm,
that standard place will not be used for anything,
mm,
because most of your clients will be on field with you. So you don't need a
mm.
standard place to just to bring them there, take it. That is waste. Whereas if you're
Okay.
going for a city for project, the client will be there. We'll take them there out on that city for a meeting. That's all. It is not like you have to bring them back to your office, get a
Mm,
meeting.
okay.
It is like the less people you come bring towards your office, the more work you can do. Because
mm,
if you are bringing one team here, you have to be there before one day, make all arrangements. So all
mm,
those things are there. So it is like how you plan it and how you
mm,
wanted it to be.
mm.
So it is better you have to work on projects, start knowing people, start. Some companies might expect only your presence so that they'll give you the project.
Uh-huh.
Some because due to the reliability. And some
Mm,
companies will only don't want to even see you, but only your quality speaks. So every
mm,
company has its own pulse,
okay.
which you will only know once after working two or three projects with them.
Mm,
So it is like that only. You have to learn even the smaller things from the people whom you are working and make sure you are using it to your advantage.
mm,
And no team is like very perfect unless and until you know how to put them together.
mm.
So HR department doesn't like human resource or anything will not be the issue. The only thing is you have to
No,
identify
actually,
what
the HR means what I supposed to ask is human resource, not the department.
manpower
The
works
skill
working
set.
on field.
Yeah, the skill
Yeah, that
sets.
is
Yeah.
what. For that,
Okay.
I'll tell you what skill set you want. There are people in India. The only problem you will face it, you have to know how to collaborate them with your team so that they'll be more working efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might be team players, some will be an individual person. So each and everyone will have a different working pattern, different working hour.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like that only. You have to understand your team and make plannings accordingly. Without
Yeah.
knowing
So
your
because
team,
it looks like the people we need here is much flexible, right? Because you
yeah,
sometime the flying
and more.
team will be free, so you have to utilize for the other work, the
Yeah, it is
technical.
like they have to be flexible and reliable also.
Mm,
It is not like you can put everyone in field,
okay.
but everyone in field, there might be cases where you have to put them in office.
Mm,
So
mm,
there are some people who will only be comfortable on field. There are some people who
mm,
will only be comfortable on office. So it
okay.
is like you have to know one way or the other to manage them together. There are some people, your field team it might get along very easily because they'll be full day on field, no one to
Mm,
monitor them, so they'll open up easily. So they'll
mm,
get a bonding together. Whereas if you put them into your office team, they too will
mm,
not be bonding easily because your
mm,
field team will be on entirely different exposure, your office team will be on entirely different exposure and all. So it
mm,
is like
mm,
you have to one way or the other convince them that they are together and they have to work together.
mm,
For
mm,
some people it might be easy, for some it might not.
okay.
And you can't plan a project only by what you know. You
Mm,
have
mm,
to consider your team, the people who are working for you to take up a project. If
mm,
you can complete the project on your own, you don't need a company at all. You can take it in a freelancer. If you have a company, if you have a team, you have to consider like, okay, we have these parts. So this person will be good at this. He'll be good at that. She'll be good
mm,
at this. Plan it accordingly, allocate them accordingly, so that they can also be useful and you can also be a better useful for them.
mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So it is like we'll have Excels, we'll have software, we'll have anything to plan a project. See,
Mm,
so
mm,
if you want, next class I'll have one session where we'll tell you what input we'll be getting or what and all basic things we'll get from a client, how we will plan it, and how you can manage it. I think I'll prepare one Excel or something
okay.
so that no, you can detailedly know what is a financial, how to plan a financial, how to work on a quotation, all of the things
Mm,
only we can see.
yeah. Along with that, can you suggest me like if we are planning to get the thing for the streamers, so that is the scheme, right? To digitalize the land surveys working
Yeah, yes.
for the third. So that also will be helpful if you have uh, include with this.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to include that also because each and every governing department will have different things, but there are
Oh,
some common websites which we can help it out with that. I'll
okay,
guide you through that. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. And Mamta ma'am, do you have any doubts or something to be clarified towards the field?
No, it's not any doubt. Actually, my request,
Yeah,
please try to cover hands-on training because my purpose of joining to this training is for hands-on proficiency.
yeah, yes, ma'am. It is an hands-on proficiency, whereas no, I want you to work on the sample data which I have to send, and we'll have one session each and every day before for doubt clarifications and all.
Yes,
So it
yes.
will be
Okay,
better only
okay.
if you are working on it. So that is why I'm asking you.
Yes.
Since you
Okay.
told you'll be
Actually,
busy this week, I thought, okay, we'll keep it out.
this week I will be busy right now, and
Okay.
next week from Tuesday on 30th
Yeah, okay,
December,
then I
I
won't.
will be
Yeah,
free, and
okay,
then
then
I will.
anything is fine. You can start with the
Yes.
basic image production then. We'll have
Okay.
one session to discuss your outputs. Then again you start with basic
Okay.
geology, that mining sample. We'll have one session for discussing doubts. You start with the basic mapping work. We'll have one or two sessions to
Yes.
discuss it. So like that
Okay.
only we can work on hands-on.
Okay.
So that is why I thought I asked you people to do it so that no we can have some discussion today. But since Sedu sir was also busy and you were also busy, I thought okay we'll start with the theory portion. So once
Sure.
whenever you are completing any one step or any one process, it is better you inform it in the meeting so that no at least I'll be able to visualize your data, tell you where correction is required or where you can have some shortcuts or something to more effective production and all.
Okay.
Okay.
From 30th December, I will do all things.
Okay. Yeah,
This
that's it.
week you will take a cover all theoretical part.
Yeah, only basic application part because that module 6 is only like application oriented.
Yes, yes.
So what I was telling now is the financial part, how to plan it and things. So I think I'll better prepare one PPT wise or some slideshow or something so that no, because this part you cannot go without calculating anything. So you need a calculator or
Okay.
a Excel to do it. I'll plan work for it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, yes. Says do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
So that's all.
Then we'll discuss it more briefly. I'll tell you how to prepare a code and other things on the next class. We'll
Yeah, sure.
start with speaking of projects, how you can convince them or how you can take with them.
Yeah, like the other day we was talking, no, to get the project from local
Yeah, yes.
registered office. So that will be also
Yeah, that
helpful if you can.
I'll tell you how to approach them or where to or whom to at least approach so that no you'll have an uh, pinpoint where you can start communicating.
Yeah,
I'll tell
yeah.
that also.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Sarvana,
Thank you.
you sent any sample data on Saturday, Friday or
I sent it
Saturday?
on Friday itself. Yeah, so I've sent sample
Yes,
letters on
yes.
Friday and
Actually,
Saturday. Yeah.
today I am trying to download, but it is not downloaded. So please send it again.
Yeah, okay, I'll recheck it because I've given access for everyone only. I'll recheck about the access and I'll send it to you again if required.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yes.
Ma'am, can you
Yes.
send the December 9th recording, which we have lost?
Ninth, yes, I have this. Okay, I will mail to Nagit.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks
yeah,
for.
yes, yes, thank you.